They say I keep complaining without offering solutions. Well, okay, here are 10 solutions I came up with. One, ban lobbying completely. No corporation, no billionaire, nobody should be able to buy influence over our laws. You want change? Vote. You don't get to pay for it. Two, overturn Citizens United. That decision turned democracy into an auction. Right now, it's not one person, one vote. It's $1, one vote. That needs to end. Three, let people vote on actual laws. We have the technology. If we can bank online, we can vote on bills online. Four, politicians can't take corporate money. You work for the people. You only answer to the people. No PACs, no corporate donations. Five, ban insider trading for politicians. You don't get to profit off industries you regulate. You can't own stocks in companies you control. Six, full financial transparency. You want to run for office? Show us everything: income, investments, donors, all of it public. Seven, term limits. No more career politicians. You serve, you lead, you leave, and you can't immediately go work for the industries you just regulated. Eight, kill the revolving door. Government officials don't get to cash out with the corporations they were supposed to hold accountable. That's corruption, not public service. Nine, give power back to local communities. Let people decide their own schools, their own policies, their own solutions. Real power lives close to home. 10, total transparency. Every dollar spent, every vote cast, every law passed, public record, all of it visible to everyone. These changes could actually give us a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Now, how do we get there? That's the hard part, because the system protects itself. Money protects power. Power protects money. And the people benefiting from this broken system will fight like hell to keep it broken. But these are the changes we need. These are the solutions. Let's be honest about something. Politicians don't work for you anymore. They don't represent you. They represent whoever writes the biggest checks. That's it. That's the system. Your senator, your representative, they're not sitting in their office thinking about what's best for you. They're thinking about their next campaign. And campaigns cost millions, sometimes tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions. Where does that money come from? Not from you, not from your neighbor, from corporations, from billionaires, from special interest groups with very specific agendas. When someone gives you millions of dollars, you remember that. You owe them. You take their call. You listen to their concerns. You vote the way they want you to vote. Meanwhile, what are you to them? You're one vote, one person in a district of hundreds of thousands. You don't fund their campaigns. You don't have lobbyists on speed dial. You don't wine and dine them at expensive fundraisers. So why would they prioritize you? They won't. They don't. They can't afford to. This is why we keep voting for change and nothing changes. This is why every politician promises to fight for the middle class and then votes for tax breaks for the wealthy. This is why healthcare stays broken, why student debt keeps crushing people, why wages stay stagnant while corporations post record profits, because the people funding these campaigns don't want those things fixed. They benefit from the system exactly as it is. That's not democracy. That's legalized bribery with better PR. Who gave them the right to charge us for water and land they didn't create? We should not be paying anything for our existence on this earth. Let that sink in. Let it scrape against everything that you've been taught. Because the most insane idea humanity ever normalized is that you owe money simply for being alive. You were born here without consent on a planet you did not create, under a sky that no government ever hung, breathing air that no corporation manufactured, and somehow you start life already in debt. That's not normal. That's not moral. That is not even sane. Explain to me how land became owned. Explain how water became a bill. Explain how shelter became rent, movement became a license, and rest became something you have to earn after selling most of your waking hours. They didn't just monetize labor, they monetized survival. And the moment survival has a price tag, freedom is gone. Because if you must comply to be allowed to live, that is not choice. That is coercion, wearing a suit and calling itself civilization. And don't insult people by calling this just how the world works. That phrase is the psychological gag they stuff in your mouth before they tighten the leash. Miss enough payments and watch how fast the mask drops. They don't just take your house. They don't just shut off your utilities. They take your mobility. They take your dignity. They cage your body, all because you failed to keep up with the subscription fee for being alive. That's not order. That is a threat backed by force. Work itself is not the enemy. Contribution is natural. Humans have always built, always grown, always created, and always shared. What is evil is when contribution stops being voluntary and becomes a condition for survival. What is evil is when fear of hunger, homelessness, and medical neglect is used as the whip. And that fear is not accidental, it's engineered. It keeps you obedient, tired, and arguing with your neighbor instead of questioning the system that's draining you dry. No moral system, none, can justify charging human beings for access to the earth they were born on. If a system requires you to earn the right to exist, then that system is illegitimate at its core. And if hearing this makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the sound of a lie cracking. You're not lazy for questioning this. You're not crazy for feeling it's wrong. You're dangerous because you're starting to realize the truth. You were never meant to pay for your own existence.